Alright, hey y'all. So I just got out of church. Y'all know today's Sunday. Um, Speaking of church, I think we should talk about why church is important. I've been waiting to make a video about Christ and all that, but I just really couldn't find what to talk about. And the stuff that I didn't want to talk about takes notes and actual time because I don't want to just say anything and then somebody get a misrepresentation or misinformation about it. So yeah, but we could talk about Jesus all day. We could talk about it all day because I don't got nothing but time as long as I'm breathing. Oh my gosh, she always want to get in the video, bruh. Look, girl, go somewhere. Anyway, yeah, I think it's important to talk about why church is important and why you actually need church. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't need church. I need God. I just need the relationship. I don't need all that religion, and I'm good on the church." And I know a lot of people, they had a bad experience in church, or they might have went to church when they was younger and they didn't really understand it, or they just see people hooping and hollering and pastors just entertaining, a lot of scamming going on in the church and all that. All the reasons. I know that's also a reason why people don't want to do Christianity, or they good on all that church stuff, or they say they believe in God, or they believe something's out there, they just don't know what it is. I feel like we let other people control our experience with God and our relationship and how we actually feel, and I feel like that keeps us from God. And yeah, I'm just gonna say for me, you know, when you grow up Christian or whatever, you go to church, and it could be cool, and you had the little events and whatever, or you sitting there and y'all know how y'all sleep in church, or you see people screaming and crying and doing all that, or you know, you gotta stand up to sing the songs and whatever. I feel like you don't really understand, like, okay, what is this? This is just something that we do, like a routine. And also, you don't really know God for yourself. You just know what your parents tell you. And you pray, sing worship songs, whatever, but you don't really know why. Why do I have to worship Jesus? Why do I have to go to church? Like, what is the reason for all this? So when I decided to that Jesus was real and nothing could tell me different, and I wanted to be more active, and I wanted to, actually walk and live that life. And I knew I wanted to go back to church and that I wanted to get baptized because I got baptized when I was younger, but now fully understanding Christ as an adult, I'm like, I want to rededicate my life to Christ. And okay, so I need to get baptized. So I was looking for churches, and for one, I wanted to make sure that they did baptisms and that it was gonna. Hold on. Let me slow down because I'm getting too ahead of myself. I'm too excited. Okay, whatever. When I decided to get back into Christ, I wanted to get baptized again and to find a church to have community, at least to hear the word of God. But I wanted to make sure that the church was actually going to teach the Bible, wasn't going to do all that entertaining and all that scamming and just all that other stuff. And I wanted to make sure that they baptized me correctly. Because, I was just like, I want to do everything right. I don't want what if they baptize me incorrect? Or what if they say under the wrong name? Like, whatever. So I would look and I would try to find churches, but they was looking, I ain't gonna lie, they was looking like some cults. They was wearing robes and I don't know. It was just looking weird. I was like, nah, I'm good. So, whatever. But I still wanted to go to church. So I seen somebody on my Facebook and they would post about the church and whatever. So that's how I found the church that I'm at. So I went there. I didn't want to go by myself. I just get so nervous being around people and doing stuff on my own. I get nervous going to the store. I feel so uncomfortable in my body, like just so, I just feel like everybody looking at me, whatever. But I'm like, whatever, I'm just gonna go. I'm not gonna let it stop me from going there because this is what I want to do, and I can't wait for somebody else to go with me or let that keep me from going to church and following Christ. Okay, so I go there, whatever, and I just loved it. Like, everybody was so welcoming and so loving. I didn't feel out of place, or I didn't feel like, because sometimes you can feel like a burden, or you could feel overwhelmed, or you like, no, I don't want to, whatever. But it was just friendly, and everybody was so loving. It's like, okay, and then when they actually, well, let me backtrack. So whatever, when I got there, I used to sit in the back because I was too scared. I was not finna sit in no middle or no front. And yeah, I was in the back. I was quiet. I wasn't really talking to people. Yeah, but I just loved the way that the pastor actually preached from the Bible, and he preached the word, and it wasn't no gimmicks. I love that it wasn't no gimmicks. Yeah. Also, I was gonna say, with the people who hoop and holler and they be crying in church, now as an adult, I see why adults used to be crying and doing all that in church, because when you finally grow up as an adult and you go through things yourself, and then you experience God within that, then now you say, oh, I understand, because now you've experienced it. So another reason why people they may feel like church is cringy or weird is because you haven't experienced it yet. You haven't experienced God delivering you from something. You haven't experienced God getting you through a situation or answering your prayers, because once you experience that and you see and you know for yourself, you don't have to have your parent to tell you that God is real, or you don't have to have the pastor tell you that God is real. You know for yourself that God is real. And then that makes you want to worship. That makes you want to cry out and, do all the things because you experienced it. Like, and it's a crazy thing to experience. It's a great thing to experience. And yeah. So let me just say it like this, because I can talk about that church all day long. what I'm really trying to say is, I know what we see on the internet and people and teacher prosperity, and if you sold this amount of money you can get this and whatever. We see all the gimmicks that the churches play and all that stuff. But if I would have let that keep me from going to church, I would have missed out on all the friends and people that I met at church. When I go there, it's like I just know everybody. Like, I know so many people, and it's just so friendly. I would have missed out on community. I would have missed out on friends. I would have missed out on getting baptized correctly. I would have missed out on getting baptized. I would have missed out on hearing the word taught correctly and in a way that I understand. Like, I didn't understand. You know, we hear Jesus died for you on the cross and da 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 da, but I didn't really understand it how I understand now. That we're gonna get into that later. But whatever. I would have missed out on all these things, and the way that I feel now, and being more comfortable and talking to people and just fellowship and hearing the word. I would have missed out on all these things if I would have just, nah, church ain't for me. I see how they be doing. But just because they do it like that at this church doesn't mean every church is going to be like that. Doesn't mean every pastor and person you're going to meet is going to scam you out your money, and they're going to talk behind your back. And just because it happened here does not mean it's going to happen everywhere else. That's just an excuse because you really don't want to dedicate your life to Christ. You really don't want to, you're just using that as a hindrance. Because if you really want to follow Christ, you're going to do everything that you can no matter what. And if this church don't work, you can always find another church. You need fellowship. You need community. You're going to go back home and you're going to be like, oh, I'm lonely and there's nobody around me to help me. I don't have nobody. I don't have no support. You would have support if you go and be available, make yourself available, get a community, and you have to learn to trust people. And if you're just not going to trust nobody, then you'll never have a relationship with anybody. You're not even, how can you have a relationship with Christ if you don't even have a relationship with the people? You can't even trust the people around you, but you want to trust somebody that you can't see? No. So we have to stop using that as an excuse. Church is important. You need to be around like-minded people. If you can't grow in an area by yourself, because for one, yourself could say, you know what, I'm not feeling it today. I don't feel like doing this. Da, da, da. Who's gonna hold you accountable? Who's gonna push you? Who's gonna motivate you when you can't even motivate yourself? So church is definitely important. All the events, just the people, the love, the way that you hear the word taught to you. Because you can read the Bible all day, and you need to, because it'll help you discern and know if somebody's preaching the wrong way or teaching a different way or whatever. You need to read it for yourself. But sometimes somebody else saying it helps you click. Like, oh, I wasn't even thinking about it like that. I didn't really understand that. You need somebody else. When you're learning in a classroom, you're not teaching yourself. You have somebody to teach you. So yes, you need a pastor, and you need people to help hold you accountable, help support you, and you need to also be that to them. Yeah. So I understand a lot, because before I even came to Christianity, I was doing New Age spiritualism, and but I was looking for whatever is truth. I don't care whatever's gonna make me feel good. I don't care if Jesus was white, black, Asian, Mexican, Jewish, whatever he is. I don't care, because who am I to say, oh, I'm not gonna follow you because you're this? But if that really was the creator, and he really did make the earth and all of us, and he did set rules and a foundation, who am I to say my little 20-year-old self, I just got here. Who am I to say, oh, nah, I got it. I don't need you. If he was black, maybe. If he was this, maybe. No. Because that's just silly. Like, if your life depends on this and somebody's trying to tell you, hey, go, I'm trying to tell you, go this way. This is the right way. And you're like, who's the leader? Is he black, though? Is he this, though? Is he gonna make me feel good? Nah, I'm good then. Like, that's silly. That's silly to say, especially when your soul depends on it and you don't have a chance to go back when you take your last breath. So, but that's a whole different video of, coming out of new age spiritualism and from not believing in Christ to knowing that he's real. I don't have to see him physically to know, oh, Jesus is real. Like, and the experiences I've had coming into Christ and the answers and the prayers I've got answered, you can't tell me that Christ is not real. And why wouldn't I want to be around other people who think like that and who love like that genuinely with no ulterior motive? And yeah, more of the story. I used to just feel alone, being at home, just going to work, coming home, doing nothing. Going to work, coming home, doing nothing. Don't really have any friends to talk to. But ever since I went to church, I have so many people to talk to. I have actual friendships now. I have more motivation. I don't feel like I'm just purposeless or I'm just here and whatever happens, I don't know. Like, church encourages you, it motivates you, it makes you feel good. Not just because, you sing songs and you get hyped and all that. Genuine connections, genuine teaching. That's what gives you life. And that's why church is important. And yeah. So even if you feel like, I'm just going to say this, if you believe in Christ, no matter what happened in the past, no matter what happened at another church, no matter how much you feel like you can do it on your own, for one, you can't do it on your own, because why would you need Christ if you could do it on your own? Why would you wouldn't even need him if you got it by yourself. And he tells us to love and serve one another. So I would just encourage you to try church again. Try it again. If this church doesn't work and whatever, find the right church that teaches the Bible. And when you find it, and when you do go there, don't just be all to yourself, because then what is the purpose? What is the purpose of you going? Fellowship with other people. Get somebody who holds you accountable. Make friendships. Make connections. Talk to people. Say hi. Do something. Like, it's no point of just going to just sit there and be quiet and then just hurry up and leave. Like, no. These are people who, they're basically like your ride or die. Like, this is your family. So, look at it like that. Look at it, this is my family. These are people who are gonna hold me accountable, lift me up, encourage me, pray for me, for one. People who pray for you. And that's also gonna flip and show you how to do that to somebody else. It's gonna show you, oh, this is how I can pray for somebody. I feel like I can do that now. I feel like I can uplift somebody else now, because now you've been uplifted so many times by people, you want to do it back. Just like how Christ loved us. When you understand that and you understand how he loves you and how he died for you and how he sacrificed for you, you're going to be like, oh, I want to do that back. I want to do that, and I want to do that for this person. I want to serve this person. You're going to learn to serve because you know how he served you, and you see how his people are serving you. So once that happens, then you're going to be able to do that, and the cycle's just going to continue. If you don't like the way church is, change it. If you're really a Christian, why would you want the church to fall? Like, this is where we supposed to this is supposed to be the holy place. This is supposed to be where a safe place. So if you don't like the way church is, why don't you fix it? Why don't you be that person who isn't out to just scam people or gossip about them? Or why not be that light in that place? Like, why not be the one to make a difference? Not just walk away from it. Like, so yeah, go to church. It'll be worth it. It was so worth it for me. And yeah. So yeah. I don't have nothing else to say about that. Just go to church. Yeah. Before I end this video, I just want to say the whole reason why I made this channel and I named it The Gentle Sower is because I wanted everything that I do to represent Christ. And I was trying to think of a name that would kind of, still tie in to Christ and whatever. And, I was thinking about something that had something with meek in it, but I just chose gentle. And sowing, because, you reap what you sow, and sow seeds of righteousness. Yeah, so I wanted this channel to have something about Christ in it. I want Christ to be known, and I want you guys to know Christ. So, yeah, that's kind of why I chose his name. I was going to go with a whole different name, but I wanted to, whatever I decide to do in life, I want Christ to be reflected in that. So, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I need to start doing outros. So, like, comment, subscribe, do all the things that you know how to do, because I know you be on YouTube all day, every day. So, yeah, do that, and I'll see you in the next video.